Hi my dear students, myself Sachin. I am continuing the subject highway engineering, that is module 3, introduction to pavement. What do you mean by pavement? Nothing but pavement is a durable surface area. While our vehicle is moving and all vehicles are moving, the whole area covered for the movement, that is nothing but an area intended to sustain a vehicular load. Our vehicle is moving, the load will be transferred to over this area. This is known as an pavement. As per our textbook definition, pavement is the durable surface material laid down on the area intended to sustain vehicular load or a foot traffic. Such is known as a walkway. In pavement, there are two categories, nothing but first one flexible pavement, second one rigid pavement. As the name indicates, flexible pavement and the name indicates rigid pavement. Here the flexibility will be there for the pavement substructure. Here the rigidity, nothing but for example for flexible pavement, you can see in flexible pavement bituminous road, tar roads, bitumen, tar road. For rigid, best example is CC roads, cement concrete roads. Here the rigidity will be more, here the flexibility will be less. Compare this to, the life will be more for concrete roads, nothing but rigid pavements, the life will be less for flexible pavements. In the next slide we will learn the whole difference between the flexible and rigid pavements. This one is the most important question that is frequently asked in the VTU examination. What do you mean by difference between the flexural as well as a rigid pavement? First one, compared to flexural strength, in the flexible pavement, flexural strength will be very low. Here the flexural strength will be very less, but the rigid pavement flexural strength is, in flexible pavement the flexural strength will be very less, in rigid pavement flexural strength will be more. In comparing to the load transfer, load is transferred by grain to grain contact, because here continuous contact will be there. No such phenomena in grain load transfer exists, because this one is a rigid pavement. Next, coming to the third point, surface cannot be laid directly, because when considering the flexible pavement as well as the rigid pavement, in next coming classes we can learn there are different courses, like first wearing course, nothing but, or we can call it as an surface course. After wearing course or surface core, one more layer will be there, that is base course. After the base course, sub base. Below that sub base, subgrade. So totally there are 4 layers. Compared to the rigid pavements, here surfacing can be directly laid on the subgrade. So here totally there are 1, 2, 3, 4 courses should be done for flexible pavement. For rigid pavement, directly you laid over the subgrade. So only one course. In the designing or detailing of the flexible rigid pavement, you can learn in detail. Just you should remember, in flexible surface pavement there are 4 layers, in rigid pavements only 1 layer. Next, no thermal stresses are induced, because here for no any absorption of a thermal or any operation of a heat, nothing will be there. In case of the rigid pavement, nothing but a concrete. In concrete, automatically thermal stresses are induced. Expansion joints are not needed, because as the name indicates flexible, no expansion joints are required. When you comes to the rigid pavements, in the bridge structure you have already seen there will be a joints or nothing but thermal expansion joints, that is the most required for the rigid pavements. For the flexible pavements, no joints are required. Obviously the strength of the flexible road will be lesser, 10 to 15 years, comparing to the rigid pavements. it's around 20 to 30 years, almost double, 2 times compared to flexible. Rigid payment will be 2 times more. Initial cost is very low, again initial cost is very high. Maintenance cost is very high, but maintenance cost is very less. While coming to the maintenance cost for flexible payment, initial cost is high, but initial cost is high, but maintenance cost is initial cost is very less, but maintenance cost is more. Here initial cost is more, maintenance cost is less, vice versa. Next, road can be used within 24 hours of construction. After 24 hours lading over the subgrade, we can use for within 24 hours, but you cannot supposed to do that in a rigid payment. So you have to be used for 14 days compressive strength value, that is nothing but FCK. 14 days curing period should be minimally provided for the rigid payments. Damaged by the oil certain chemicals, no damage will be there on chemicals. See in this figure clearly we can see this rigid payment. These are the tensile bars which is provided for the tensile stresses. So due to this will be the flexural strength will be more. But compared to the flexible payment, these are the example for flexible payment. Here the initial cost is compared to the rigid payments very less, but maintenance cost is very high, maintenance cost is very less. See in this picture you can clearly see flexible payment as well as a rigid payment. Flexible payment is smooth for the movement of vehicles, but rigid, as the name indicates rigid, again it's rigid, its life is also 2 times the flexible. For example, rigid payment CC roads, for example of flexible payment bitumen or tar roads. Next, requirements of payment. Why we need to provide a payments? Because to sufficient thickness distribution of a wheel, as I have told, this will be the cross section of our vehicles. The wheel load will be like this. To distribute the load, sufficient thickness should be provided. Strictly strong to withstand the types of stresses imposed on it. How many types of stresses will be imposing on that will be comes under the design criteria. Again, for the smooth surface to provide a comfort for the passengers even at the high speed, these payments are required. If the payment is very good, the passenger can move around a more speed. Produces a least noise from the vehicles, because if the pavement is very harsh or very rough, which makes the sound for the, and it makes uncomfortable for the passengers. If it is a very smooth, there will be noiseless. Next, one more thing is dust proof. If it is an example of mud road, after moving of a vehicle, continuously dust particles will be comes to the air in contact and makes the destruction to the passengers. That will not be happen in a pavements. Next, impervious surface, so grade the subgrade soil is well protected. By providing these layers, the soil is well protected. Long design life with the low maintenance. Next, see here, distribution of pressure produced by multiple wheel assessments. Distribution, one more, here this is a wheel and the distance between the two wheel will be treated as a S. The distribution of pressure will be like a parabolic curve. Next, in the 5.2 you can see distribution of pressure under the single wheel load. Distribution of pressure. This one is nothing but a subgrade. Here, if it is provided a rigid pavement, there will be a lesser impaction. If it is a flexible pavement, the impact will be more. That's why the time period or the life will be less for the flexible pavement, more will be for the rigid pavements. We have learned totally two types. One is flexible, another one is rigid. Again, in the flexible, there are three conditions or nothing but three types. conventional layer flexible. Second one, full depth asphalt pavement. Third one, contained rock asphalt mat. First one will be conventional flexible. As the name indicates, conventional method. Conventional flexible methods are layered systems with the high quality expensive materials are placed into the top where the stresses are high. Low quality cheap materials are placed in a lower areas. If it is a high quality, we need to go for the high quality of materials. If it is cheap quality, then you need to go for the cheap quality of materials placed over a low layers.